Hi, my dear students, and welcome in a new grammar lesson of Unit 12, which is called the gerunds and the infinitives. Of course, as I promised, as I always suggest for you, that we have to study the grammar from the grammar reference at the back of your book. It's very, very, very important to make it your reference. Okay, it's on page 168. Okay, it's 6.1, the gerunds and the infinitives. And let's start with something called the gerund. What is the gerund? A gerund is a verb, is a noun that ends in ing, but it is not a verb. Okay, so it is a word that ends in ing, but it is not a verb. How can this happen? Let's see. So let's start first with the gerunds, okay? And we form the gerunds with the verbs and the ing ending. Okay, we can use gerunds and we have to point them or to count them. Number one, as a noun. Okay, so the gerund, it is, as I told you, although it is a verb plus ing, but we use it as a noun. Like swimming is a great way to keep fit. Here I don't mean the action of swimming. I mean the swimming as sport. So swimming here is a noun. Okay, so gerund can come as a noun. Number two, after a preposition. Okay, like I'm so bored with doing. So here we have with and then the word doing. Okay, so again, the gerund can be a noun, but it's a verb plus ing, and it can come after a preposition. And number three, it comes after the verb go when I mean here activities. When I'm talking here about any kind of activity, I use the gerund. Like here, Jacques goes sailing. See here after the verb go, we have the verb plus ing sailing. Okay, and the gerund also number four comes with these certain verbs and phrases, and you have to study them by heart. Very, very, very important. Okay, so again, let's revise. The gerund can come as a noun at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, can come after the preposition, can come after the verb go when we are talking about activities. Okay, and can come with these words and verbs. What are these verbs and words? Let's highlight them together. They are very, very important. We have admit, avoid. We have written it for you to make it simple by the alphabetical order. Be used to, can't help, can't stand, deny, dislike, don't mind, enjoy, fancy, feel like, finish, forgive, hate, have difficulty, imagine, involve, it's no good, it's no use, it's not worth, keep, like, love, miss, practice, prefer, prevent, regret, risk, spend time, and suggest. Let's, for example, I can't stand listening to his voice. I spend time going shopping. I regret doing doing the mistake. Okay, I avoid seeing her. I feel like going. It's no use fixing. So all these verbs, okay, come after them the verb ing, which we call them the gerund. Okay, so this is called the gerund. Understood? We have four uses for the gerund: as a noun at the beginning of the sentence, as what comes after a preposition. What are the prepositions? In, on, at, before, after. Okay, I am interested in playing. I'm bored of reading. Okay, I'm excited about listening. Alright, so all these are prepositions. Alright, and we have here after the verb go, when we talk about activities, okay, I go skiing, I go windsurfing, I like to go skiing, okay, and after these words and verbs, as I told you here. Okay, so this is called what? We call it the gerund. Alright, let's go now to the infinitive. infinitive is the opposite of the gerund. Okay? The infinitive, guys, okay, is used as we have two kind of infinitives. Okay? The infinitive is the verb without any addition to anything to the verb. We cannot put s, we cannot put es, we cannot put ing, we cannot put ed, we cannot make to the verb anything. Okay? We have here two kind of infinitives. We have something called full infinitive and something called bare infinitive. And let's talk about the full infinitive. The full infinitive is the verb with the word to. Okay, so it's the to plus the verb. This is, we call it the full infinitive. And when do I use the full infinitive? To explain purpose. What is the purpose of doing this? We went to the gym. Why? To ask about something. I went out to buy a book. Okay, I slept to wake up early. Okay, so here this is the purpose. So this is called full infinitive. Look, this is a full infinitive. To plus the verb in the infinitive form. Number two, after the adjectives. What are these adjectives? You have to study them. Afraid, scared, happy, glad, pleased, and sad. I'm happy to tell you. I'm afraid to tell you. I'm scared to stay here. I'm glad to meet you. So all these come after them what the verb in the full infinitive form. Number three, okay, number three, after the words to and enough. It's too cold to stay in. It's hot enough to play. Okay, so after to and after enough, we use what? The full infinitive. So again, number one, to explain purpose. Number two, after these adjectives, which are afraid, scared, happy, glad, pleased, sad. Number three, after the words to and enough. Excellent. Now, and I want you to study them very hard. Look, this lesson is about studying. If you are going to study the verbs and the gerunds, what are the verbs that come with the gerunds, and what are the verbs that come with the infinitive? Okay, you will be able to solve any question. Okay, we have again some verbs and phrases that comes with the full infinitive. What are these words or verbs? Afford, agree, allow, appear, arrange, ask, begin, choose, decide, expect, fail, forget, hope, invite, learn, manage, need, offer, persuade, plan, prepare, pretend, promise, refuse, seem, start, want, would like. I say, I forgot to tell you. I hope to meet you. I managed to answer the question. I started to read. I would like to announce. I planned to travel. Okay, so all these comes after them what? The verb in the excellent, very good. Plus to plus what? The infinitive form. Excellent. To plus the infinitive form. To plus the infinitive form comes after the come after this what? After these verbs. Okay. Now let's go to the bare infinitive. And the bare infinitive, guys, is the verb without the to. The verb without what? To. Okay? Like when I say it comes with the modal verbs. What are the modal verbs? Can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would. Okay? Ought to. All these are called modal verbs. I can listen. Look what happened. What came after can? Verb in the infinitive but without to. Okay, so the bare infinitives are the verbs without the infinitive, without what? Without to. Very good. Okay, so it comes after the modal verbs. Number two, after had better, to give advice. You had better see a doctor. You had better do your homework. You had better sleep early. So all these are, you are giving what? Advice. So what comes after had better? The bare infinitive. Three, would rather, to talk about preferences, to show which one do you prefer. Okay, and then we use the word than. I would rather eat burger than sushi. Okay, I'd rather play basketball than volleyball. Okay, so I would rather, to show preferences, had better, to give advice. All of them comes after them. All of them come after them. What? The bare infinitive and of course the modal verbs. Okay, and let's go to another part. We have here two important notes. Note number one, we use let plus the object plus the bare infinitive when we want to say that we give permission for someone to do something. Okay, and it is in the active form. We use it in the active voice only. Okay, like when I say the coach let the team take a break. So here let, um, so the coach is giving a permission, right, to the team. So the coach let the team, and here the bare what? Infinitive. And this is the active form. This is active. Why active? Because here we have the coach is the one who led the team. So this is an active form. When I want to make it passive, okay, I use what? Verb to be plus allow plus the full infinitive. The team was allowed to take a short break. So here we use the be form, verb to be, okay, plus the word what? Huh? Allowed or allowed, yes, allowed, plus the what? The to plus the verb in the infinitive form, but the what? The full infinitive, which is to plus the verb in the infinitive. Anyways, okay. So here, this is the form of the passive of the permission. So when I want to give permission for someone to do something, I use in the active form. This is the active form, and this is the passive form. Passive. Okay, here I used let plus the object plus the bare infinitive. Here I use verb to be plus allowed plus the full infinitive, which is to plus the verb in the infinitive. Number two, I use make plus object plus bare infinitive when I want to force someone to do something in the active form. But in the passive, it is followed by a full infinitive. Like when I say, the referee made me take, here made, then object, then take, full infinitive. This is the active form. This is the active form. Okay, so here the referee is the one who made me take the free kick again. So here the form is make plus the object plus the bare infinitive. But if I want to make it in the passive form, if I want to talk about the passive form, so I use verb to be plus made plus the full infinitive, which is to plus the verb in the infinitive. So this is forcing someone to do something. This is letting or giving the permission for someone to do something. Okay, so these two important notes are very, very important. Next, let's talk about whether it is a gerund or an infinitive. And this part is very important. And take care of what I'm going to say. Some verbs can be followed by a gerund or full infinitive with no change in meaning. Both of them are the same. Okay, like begin, bother, continue, hate, like, love, start. For example, I can say I hated doing or I hated to do. I can say I like doing or I can say I like to do. I can say I started to play or I started playing. Okay? So all these don't have any change in meaning. I can say the fans began cheering or the fans began to cheer. I can say I hated playing. I can say I hated to play. Both of them have the same meaning. But there are other verbs that can be followed by a gerund or a full infinitive, but the meaning changes. These verbs are go on, forget, regret, remember, stop, and try. So you have to study these very well. And let's start with each verb and explain them in details. First, let's start with the verb forgot. When I say I forgot buying, it's not like when I say I forgot to buy. Okay? When I say I forgot buying, that means that I bought something and I forgot the action of buying it. Okay? But when I say I forgot to buy, that means I didn't buy that thing already. Okay? Like when I say I forgot buying that CD. That means that I bought that CD but I forgot buying it. The action of buying it, I forgot it. But when I say I forgot to buy the banana, I forgot to buy bananas that mom told me about, it means that I forgot to do the action itself. Okay? Here, I forgot buying that sports magazine. That means I didn't remember that I had bought that sports magazine. But when I say I forgot to buy a sports magazine, I didn't remember to buy a sports magazine, so I don't have one already. Okay, so this is forget. Okay, number two, go on. When I say the hikers go on walking, not like the hikers went on to walk. Okay, when I say the hikers went on walking, they continued to walk. Simply they are walking. But when I say the hikers went on to walk, they had been walking somewhere else and then started walking in a different place. Okay, so not the same place. So when I say the hikers went on going, that means they continued what they are walking before. Okay, but when I say I went in to walk, I went on to walk. That means that what that they used to walk in a place, and then suddenly they walked on to different or they went on to walk to a different place. Okay. Okay, so again I repeat, when I say I went on I went on walking, it's not like I went on to walk. Okay, went on walking, they're simply just walking, but went on to walk, he was walking in a place and then he changed his direction to a different place. Okay, number three, I regret. What are the differences between I regret watching and I regret to inform you? When I say I regret plus verb plus ing, I mean here I regret that I feel that I wish something had happened but it didn't happen. Okay, I regret not visiting my uncle. That means I wish to do so but I didn't do it. Okay, but when I say we regret, sometimes the Vodafone customer service, they used to call you and tell you and they tell you what, huh? We regret to inform you that the internet connection will not be stable at that time. So we are saying that we are sorry to tell you. Here regret means that we are sorry. It doesn't mean that we are I wish to do something but I didn't do it. Okay, like here also, I regret not watching the basketball final. What's the meaning of that? I didn't watch the final, but now I wish I had. We regret to inform our viewers that we will not be broadcasting the game. We are sorry to tell you. Okay, so these are the differences between regret verb ing and regret plus to plus infinitive. Next, remember is like forget. Okay, remember is like forget. Okay, my grandfather remembers seeing Pelé play for Brazil. Okay, he remembers the action itself. But when I say yes, I was walking and suddenly I remembered to buy a cake. Okay, so this thing he didn't do it before, and he remembered to do it right now. Did you understand? But when I say my grandfather remembers seeing, okay, he saw already the play and he remembered seeing that play again. But when I say I remembered to buy the cake, that means that he didn't buy a cake before. He just remembered right now that he's going to buy what? The cake. Okay, so these are the differences between remember buying and remember to buy. Okay? What are the differences between stopped walking and stopped to take? Okay, Nana was walking and then she stopped walking. She stopped the action itself. But when I say Nada was playing basketball and then she stopped to drink, I stopped an action to do another action. Okay? So these are the differences between stop plus verb ing. I stopped the action itself and stopped to do another action. Okay? And what are the differences between try booking and try to find? Okay? Try booking the concert tickets online. Go online and see if you can book the ticket. I'll try to find. It means I'll make an effort to get tickets. Here, try to is to make an effort, but try plus ing is doing something already, and he will succeed in doing it. But when I say I'll try to find, I'll try to do something, and it's difficult to do it. So these are the differences between try verb ing and try plus the verb plus the infinitive. So guys, I know it's a little bit difficult, but you have to study it very well. Okay, let's go now to the page of the grammar section. Okay, which is, one second. I want you to open page number 63. Okay, and let's solve the exercises together. Now we use gerunds with the verbs and ing ending. We form full infinitive with to and the verb. We use the bare infinitive after modal verbs have better for advice and would rather to talk about preferences. Read the sentences below and underline the gerunds, bare infinitives, and full infinitives. Number one, very good. We have encourage, it's a bare infinitive, and to take up is full infinitive. Excellent. To, very good. To going out, to going out is a gerund. Excellent. Free to get is a full infinitive. 4, training is a gerund. Excellent. 5, to see, full infinitive. Excellent. 6, watching, gerund. Excellent. And here preposition, as you can see. 7, to beat. Excellent. Very good. Now look at the sentences 1 to 7 in A. What form do we use after AG below? Write G for gerund, B for bare infinitive, or F for full infinitive. Number 1 was what, as I told you? Comes after certain adjectives is very good. Full infinitive. After a preposition, excellent, gerund. After to and enough, very good, full infinitive. A phrasal verb, very good, the gerund. Phrasal verb, that means the preposition he means. Okay? A modal verb, very good, it's the bare infinitive. To show purpose, full infinitive. Excellent. And what about as a subject of a sentence, the beginning of a sentence as a noun? Very good, it's the gerund. So these are the uses of all of them. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now we are going to answer this exercise together. Sue would rather what to friends? Would rather, without any thinking, it will be very good. Go. They decided. Decided is from the verbs to buy. Excellent. It's not worth. Not worth comes after it. Gerund. You have to study the verbs. He had better. Very good. Train. Excellent. Okay, my parents really enjoyed. Enjoy comes after it, the verb in ing. Gerund, I mean. So traveling. So how did I solve this? By studying the verbs. I have to study the verbs that I told you about. Some verbs like begin, start, continue, love, hate, intend, prefer can be followed by a gerund or infinitive with no change in meaning. Other verbs like forget, remember, regret, stop, try can be followed by a gerund or infinitive, but there is a change in meaning. Read the sentences and match them with their meanings. Remember to take the dog for a walk. Do you remember taking the dog for a walk? Remember to take the dog for a walk. Is a what? Is it remember a past event or remember something before doing it? Excellent. It's remembering something before doing it. He didn't do it before. Do you remember taking the dog for a walk? Remember a past event. It was a past event and then he remembered that past event. He stopped buying magazine. He stopped to buy a magazine. What stopped permanently and what stopped an unmentioned activity and started another one? Very good. He stopped buying a magazine, stopped permanently. Permanently. He stopped permanently. He is not going to buy any magazines any other time. He stopped to buy a magazine. He stopped an action to do another action, which is to buy a magazine. Okay. Next. Let's do exercise E together. It's no use talking or to talk. Excellent. Talking to Mary. She won't listen to you. You were so lucky to escape or to have you were so lucky escape or to have escaped. Excellent. To have escaped unhurt after climbing that mountain. It was so kind of you to take or taking me to my dance class. To take. Excellent. Could you get or to get tickets for the science fair? Could, of course, model, so get. So, denied comes after it, verb ing. Excellent. You're all awesome. Next. Now we are going to do this tricky exercise. And after we finish this, I want you guys to solve in your booklet the gerunds and the infinitive section. Please, okay, and correct it with me afterwards. Let's start. The tradition of the Olympic flame comes from the original games held in ancient Olympia. There, the Greeks used the sun, a flame. Excellent. To create a flame. And this flame huh? Kept what? To keep burning. Excellent. Until the games ended. For the 1928 Olympic Games in Amsterdam, the tradition of, very good preposition, lighting and maintaining the flame was reintroduced. 8 years later, in 1936, the organizers of the Berlin Olympic Games suggest what comes after suggests? Huh? Very good. Suggested starting the Olympic torch relay because they wanted, very good, want to connect the games more closely to Greece. Ever since the Olympic flame has been lit at the site of ancient Olympia by women dressed in ancient Greek style clothing. What? A mirror. Of course, this is a gerund because it's starting of a sentence. And the sun, they produce a flame and light the torch. Then, from the ancient site of Olympia, the Olympic torch passes from runner to runner, crossing oceans and continents, until it reaches the Olympic Stadium in the host city. In this way, the whole world it's a model, excellent, can become involved and thousands of people managed, very good, to see the actual flame from Greece. So I hope that you have understood the lesson. It's a simple one. Just you need to study the verbs very well and study the use of each and every one, the gerund, the full infinitive and the bare infinitive, and to know the differences between the verbs that comes after them ing and comes after them the verbs that come after them ing and that come after them um, infinitive, okay, and with the change in meaning, okay, and they have change in meaning. So you have to study the grammar reference very well and then solve in your booklet. Okay? Thank you and goodbye.